OMG, Freya? Are you there? Hey, I'm trying to talk to you right now.
I'm sorry, what is it? What do you want to talk about, Lucy?
What took you so long to get back to me, huh? If I text you, you should respond to me in no more than a minute. That's just common courtesy. I mean, are we friends that go way back, or aren't we? It really is the least you can do.
I'm sorry, Lucy, but some of us have jobs and don't have time to stare at our phones all day. I'm more than happy to talk to you, but you have to be patient.
I don't care about what lame excuse you have. Just get back to me right away when I text you.
Are you going to tell me what it is you want?
What do you mean, what do I want?
I mean, did you message me just to tell me to respond to you quickly, or did you have something you actually wanted to tell me about?
Oh, right. I almost forgot. Is it true that you and Jackson are going to be getting married?
I take it that you received our wedding invitation then?
I did, yeah. And then I went to your mom to ask her just what kind of guy this Jackson fellow really is. But is it true that he makes almost $150,000 just working freelance?
Wait a second. You started looking into my husband before you even came to me to talk about him?
I also heard that he's really handsome. So basically, you have a really rich, sexy, freelance fiancé. Just what kind of work does he actually do to earn money like that? Do you have any pictures of him? Tell me what kind of girl he likes.
Those are all rather personal questions about him that I don't feel comfortable answering.
Oh, come on. Are you seriously going to shut me down like that?
Well, could you at least pretend like the reason you want to see a photo of him isn't because you heard he was handsome?
So you admit it, and now you're just going to try and hide him from me. That's so mean.
If you want to learn about him, I guess you'll just have to wait for the wedding and reception to learn a little more about him.
Well, what's the difference if I learn about him now or later? Just hurry up and tell me what I want to know about him.
Look, I'm not going to have this conversation like this, alright? I'm really busy planning for the wedding and don't have time for this. Please only message me if it's some kind of emergency, okay?
I can't believe you, Freya. I thought that you and I were still friends after all this time. Oh no! I can't believe this! I can't believe that I slept in!
You slept in? What do you mean?
I mean that I'm hopping on the bus right now!
Oh, I was wondering when you were going to show up. Were you really just sleeping in? Well, we're about to start the lunch, so you might still be able to make it for that.
Oh man, so I already missed so much of it, and here I was wanting to take my time and see what kind of men were going to be there.
Lucy, can you please not use my wedding for a chance to pick up men?
Oh, Freya, even though you're getting married, you're still so naive. I'm not coming to pick up men. I'm coming to find the man who instantly falls head over heels in love with me. Even if that man happens to be Jackson.
And just what does my fiancé have to do with any of those?
Well, I warned what might happen if you didn't show me a picture of Jackson, so whatever comes next is your fault.
You better not even think about trying to make it past that Jackson. Got it?
Oh, I'm so scared. And just what do you think Jackson would think if he knew this is how you talk to people in private?
All I'm asking of you is not to cause a scene at my wedding, okay?
Whatever you say, Freya. Whatever you say. Hey, Freya! I thought of some more questions that I just had to ask you. I just really want to see what your fiancé looks like. I don't want to have to wait another week for the wedding. So just show me a picture of him now. And you should probably think about showing him a picture of me as well. It would just be awful for your fiancé to suddenly see me at his wedding and fall in love since I'm so much prettier than you. I feel like you'd save yourself a lot of trouble if you just did what I said. In fact, you might want to think about just preparing yourself to be let down on your wedding day. What if Jackson and I lock eyes and in that moment realize that we're meant for each other? I know it's not guaranteed, but it's more likely than you think. So just show me a picture of him and make sure to show him a picture of me too. I'll be waiting. Hey, you have got some serious explaining to do, Freya. Jackson is totally my type. I'm sure that him and I are destined to be together. And you guys are still in the middle of your lunch, right? But Jackson's waiting outside the hall? I guess this is my chance. Time to see if Jackson is my soulmate.
What the heck are all these messages, Lucy? I'm just reading all of them right now. And you weren't even at my wedding. So what are you talking about?
Well, it's just that I was right. It turns out that Jackson and I are soulmates. So I took your husband and ran off with him.
No, seriously, what are you even talking about?
There's no use in trying to stop us. We already did it.
Excuse me? I have no idea what any of this is about.
I mean that I found Jackson outside of the banquet room. Took him to the bathroom and him and I did it there.
That's not what I mean. I don't understand what you're saying because Jackson is right here with me.
Come on now. You're gonna have to come up with a better lie than that. How are you going to pretend like your husband didn't ditch you in the middle of your wedding?
I'm not pretending anything. The wedding went as planned and without a hitch. The ceremony is over, and I invited some of the guests over to my parents for another small gathering.
I don't get why you're trying to trick me like this when I already know none of that is true. Anyways, you might hear from me at some point in the future. But for the time being, I think you and I need some space from each other.
Lucy, I really don't think that you know what's going on right now.
It's too late. Your man is already mine.
I seriously think you're making a mistake here. Lucy! You made a huge mistake! Do you even realize what you've done? You didn't sleep with my fiancé! You didn't sleep with Jackson! There was another wedding going on in the same venue as ours, and that's the groom who you slept with! Have your parents not reached out to tell you any of this? Things are going crazy over here, so go to your parents' place and talk to them! You're not even reading my messages. Did you block me or something? Lucy, I'm serious. This is really bad.
Freya, are you there? I really need your help. Please? Why are you suing Jackson and I? Are we really going to have to pay all the cancellation fees for your wedding? Can't you just forgive us as old friends and a former fiancé? I know that you're not really this vengeful of a person, so please, just make it all stop.
Wow, Lucy, I'm surprised to be hearing from you. But just what are you wanting my help with?
What do you mean? Didn't you just send me this letter letting me know that you're going to be suing me for ruining your wedding?
I did not, actually. Did you even read where that letter was sent from?
But who else could it be from? It has to be you.
You mean you didn't even check to see who it's from? At least do that before reaching out to me.
Okay, hold on. Wait, who the heck is Lizzie?
I imagine that Lizzie is probably the former fiancé of the man you stole on my wedding day.
Wait, what do you mean?
Did you even read any of the messages that I tried to send you the night of my wedding?
I have no idea what you're talking about at all.
I sent you a message explaining how there were 2 weddings happening, mine and one other. You stole the groom from the other wedding, not mine. And I'm assuming that this Lizzie woman was the one who was going to marry whoever this guy of yours is.
Wait, hold on a second. This doesn't make any sense.
I mean, I'm assuming that even their jobs are different, right? Because I already told you that Jackson makes his money working as a freelance. What does your man do for a living?
Well, he just stays at home all day, so I assumed that meant he was a freelance. Working freelance means that you do everything from home, right?
Are you really telling me you've been with this man for 6 whole months and haven't realized you got the wrong person?
Well, I've just been out working so much these past 6 months. Jackson told me that he didn't have any money since it all went into the wedding, and that we'd both have to work for a while.
I really can't believe you let yourself be tricked into dating a complete stranger for a whole half a year.
No, you aren't right. This is all just some kind of prank or something.
Why don't you go and ask your Jackson for the truth then?
Fine, I will. I don't believe it. Their names are completely different.
I take it that you finally checked on what this mystery man's name actually is?
I thought that I'd seen his driver's license at least once, but I can't actually remember.
I don't believe you. How you could go through all the trouble of trying to steal someone's fiancé and then not even make sure you had the right guy? And here I thought you two were soulmates.
But I really did think I had the right person.
Well, anyways, since you stole this other woman's man, I think she's well within her right to punish the two of you. Just don't come crying to me about it. It's not my problem.
You can't actually mean that, right?
I think that maybe you should just actually read through that letter you got and make sure you have all the details before you make another move.
Well, I tried reaching out to my parents before you, but I think they might have changed their numbers and I can't get a hold of them.
Your parents sold their house and moved a while back.
Wait, what?
And your dad quit his job too.
But why? Why would they do that without telling me?
Well, they felt so guilty for what you did that when this other woman managed to track them down, they agreed to pay for the private investigator who she hired to track you two down. But it took so long to find you both that they burned through all their savings and finally had to sell their house.
So, then, where are they? What's happened to their home?
I don't know. I just know that they sold their house and moved. But I don't know their new address, or even what their numbers are now.
Well, then, you're the only one who can help me now.
What are you talking about?
Well, it's all your fault if you think about it. You never told me there were 2 weddings that day, so you kinda owe me, don't you think?
You know, I didn't even want to invite you to my wedding in the first place.
What are you talking about, Freya?
I mean that ever since we were in school together, you're always trying to steal boyfriends from other girls. In fact, the only reason I invited you was because our parents used to be close business partners, and I didn't want to risk hurting those ties. But then you had the nerve to try and use that chance to steal my fiancé from me.
Freya, please! You know this has all just been a big misunderstanding. You have to forgive me. I really had no idea what I was getting myself into at all. Please, you have to listen to me.
So, if you want to talk about responsibility, why don't you go look in a mirror first? But don't you come begging to me for help, because at the end of the day, Jackson, the real Jackson, that is, and I, have nothing to do with any of this. If you want help, you're barking up the wrong tree. You got yourself into this mess, and now you're going to have to get yourself out of it.
Freya, please don't be like this. I'm so sorry.
I don't care. Don't come to me for help with problems that you got yourself into. And don't even cause trouble for my family again, or I will call the police.
So you're really not going to help me at all?
Goodbye, Lucy. It turns out that Lucy and this other guy had actually gone to courthouse to get married. And yet, somehow, she still hadn't learned his name. But after being served with a lawsuit, the two of them decided to divorce. As part of the settlement, Lucy was offered a job at a factory belonging to the woman whose fiancé she stole's parents. She had no choice but to take it in order to help her pay down her legal fees. Not only that, but I heard part of the deal was that Lucy would have to live in the company's dorms with an ankle bracelet and have her every move carefully watched by her bosses. I only hope that this serves as a good lesson for Lucy, if she ever manages to free herself from all that debt. As for Jackson and I, we really weren't all that affected by any of Lucy's antics, since she had the wrong guy from the very beginning. I remember that Jackson had told me he thought I was worried too much when I said that I didn't want to invite Lucy, but he quickly realized how narrowly he had dodged a bullet. Throughout all of this, however, the ones I feel most sorry for are Lucy's parents. They were never able to tame Lucy's wild spirit when she was a student, and it's clear she took the same attitude she had then into adulthood. Although, when I told Lucy that I didn't know where her parents had moved to, or how to contact them, that was a lie. They had asked me to keep that a secret from Lucy, in case she ever showed up again. Instead, even though they lost their business, my parents found work for them at a branch company near their new house. It was the least they felt they could do for such old business partners.